Thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies. As we continue with part 11, The Cloud Upon the Sanctuary of Masonic Orders of Fraternity by Manly P. Hall. The Cloud Upon the Sanctuary. The Aulic Counselor, Karl von Eckart-Hausen, 1752-1853, belonged in the group of the 18th century mystics, which included Johann Caspar Lavater, Baron Kirchberg, and Louis Claude de Saint Martin. He wrote extensively on mystical, magical, numerological, and alchemical subjects, and even contributed works on drama, politics, and art criticism. These brought him considerable distinction, but their popularity had not endured. Only The Cloud Upon the Sanctuary, translated by Isabel B. Steiger, is available in English. The Aulic Counselor was the natural son of Count Karl of Hamhausen. His mother, who died in giving birth to the boy, was the daughter of a superintendent of the Count's estates, although his father was most solicitous and affectionate, and did everything in his power to advance the lad's fortunes. Von Eckart-Hausen was extremely sensitive about his illegitimacy, and this unfortunate circumstance burdened his entire life with a deep but gentle despondency. He received an excellent education in philosophy and law, was made Aulic Counselor to the Elector, Karl Theodor, was attached in honorable position to the Library of Munich, and later was nominated Keeper of the Archives of the Electoral House. Although he had political enemies, his honors were preserved because his outstanding virtues and abilities endeared him to the elector. The mystical writings of von Eckart-Hausen were to a large degree influenced by Roman Catholicism, but the gentle and beautiful spirit of the works had endeared them to thoughtful persons of many religious convictions. Certainly, the literary productions of the Counselor included many matters not within the boundaries of orthodoxy, as, for example, his meditations upon the Kabbalah, the Pythagorean theory of numbers, transcendental magic, and astrology. But it has not been recorded that his interest caused him any difficulties with the Church. Few details are available about Baron Eckart-Hausen's association with the esoteric societies of his time. The catalogue of the Doren von Eyre, under number 1030, describes a manuscript written at the beginning of the 19th century and stated to be by von Eckart-Hausen. One page of this manuscript contains 3 pen-drawn and hand-colored vignettes. The first is the moon in 2 of its quarters. The second is the pinnacle of Solomon, and the third is the emblem of the Rosy Cross. The last would suggest a possible familiarity with the activities of this society. The Cloud Upon the Sanctuary consists of a series of 6 letters addressed generally to "My dear brothers in the Lord." The second letter contains the most remarkable account of the secret school of the adepts to be found in mystical literature. Naturally, Mr. Waite objects to the obvious meaning and attempts to confuse the issue by implying that Eckart-Hausen is only a peg on which to hang the high considerations of eternity. Whatever that may mean, while space does not permit or the need require a complete reprint of von Eckart-Hausen's second letter, there are several paragraphs which advance the present labor. It is necessary, my dear brothers in the Lord, to give you a clear idea of the interior church, of that illuminated community of God which is scattered throughout the world, but is governed by one truth and united in one spirit. This community of light has existed since the first day of the world's creation, and its duration will be to the end of time. This community possesses a school in which all who thirst for knowledge are instructed by the Spirit of wisdom itself, and all the mysteries of God and of nature are preserved therein for the children of light. It is the most hidden of communities, yet it possesses members gathered from many orders. Of such is this school. From all time there has been an exterior school based on the interior one, of which it is but the outer expression. From all time, therefore, there has been a hidden assembly, a society of the elect, of those who sought for and had capacity of light. And this interior society was called the interior sanctuary or church. The interior church was formed immediately after the fall of man and received from God at first hand the revelation of those means by which fallen humanity could be again raised to its rights and delivered from its miseries. It received the primitive charge of all revelation and mystery. It received the key of true science, both divine and natural. This sanctuary remained changeless, though externally religious in the course of time and circumstances, varied modifications, and became divorced from the internal truths which can alone preserve the letter. The illumined community has been through time the true school of God's Spirit, and considered as school, it has chair, its doctrine, it possesses a rule for students, it has forms and objects for study, and, in short, a method by which they study. It has also its degrees for successive development of higher altitudes. This school of wisdom has been forever most secretly hidden from the world, because it is invisible and submissive solely to divine government. Worldly intelligence seeks this sanctuary in vain. In vain also do the efforts of malice strive to penetrate these great mysteries. All is undecipherable to him who is not prepared. He can see nothing, read nothing in the interior. But there are methods by which rightness is attained. For in this holy community is the primitive storehouse of the most ancient and original science of the human race, with the primitive mysteries also of all science. It is the unique and really illuminated community which is in possession of the key to all mystery, which knows the center and source of nature and creation. It is a society which unites superior power to its own and includes members far more than one world. It is the society whose members form a theocratic republic, which one day will be the regent mother of the whole world. It is useless for Mr. Waite to suggest that von Eckarthausen's letter is to be understood only as referring symbolically to a personal exaltation of consciousness. The Aulic counselor was fully aware of the adept tradition and, writing in 1790, refers to these sages whose number is small. He later mentions that they live in various parts of the earth. Some live in Europe, others in Africa, but they are bound together by the harmony of their souls, and they are, therefore, as one. They are joined together, although they may be thousands of miles apart from each other. They understand each other, although they speak in different tongues, because the language of these sages is spiritual perception. See Disclosures of Magic, quoted in the Appendix of Paracelsus, by Franz Hartmann. Precisely the same implication appears in the writings of Paracelsus, who says, "There are persons who have been exalted to God, and who have remained in that state of exaltation, and they have not died. Their physical bodies have lost their lives, but without being conscious of it, without sensation, without any disease, and without suffering. And their bodies become transformed and disappeared in such a manner that nobody knew what become of them, and yet they remained on the earth. It is evident from the writings of von Eckarthausen and those other mystics with whom he was directly or indirectly associated that the adept tradition descended into the assembly of esoterics, responsible for certain important innovations which affected the descent of the orders of Freemasonry. Baron Kirchberger sought to secure from von Eckarthausen the personal communication of the lost word. As the Baron himself testified, this in itself reveals the fact with sufficient clarity. There is proof enough that the tradition survived the political complications resulting from the program of universal reformation and reappeared in the orders of fraternity. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.